All right, welcome back, you guys. Another round of DRL today, dude. We have serious challenges going up against Ronnie's consort Bryan, dude, the Canadian. We are in the losers bracket for this one, and you can see that, right? We are in the losers bracket, so unfortunately, that does mean that whoever loses is done for the event, but you know, making it into the top 32 is already a pretty big accomplishment, I would say. So yeah, I guess if you weren't here last time, DRL is Deathless Randomizer League. These guys are getting the same randomizer seed. They need to kill as many bosses as they possibly can. Basically, whoever kills the most bosses in a 2-hour time limit or before dying simply wins. And so yeah, their score is each boss is 1 kill, is 1 point, I guess. And yeah, 2-hour time limit. If you die, then the run's not over necessarily. Because then if your opponent dies, then like if both players have 1 death, then it pretty much just continues on. And then whoever gets the most boss kills wins at that point. So in the case of a tiebreaker, which is what actually happened last match on Tuesday, if there is a tie, then whoever killed the final boss the fastest, like with the most amount of time remaining, is the winner. And that's what happened last time. It was a super close one, dude. Hard to imagine a closer match than what we got last time, but they should be starting up pretty soon, dude. And this time we'll actually see like some of the starting classes and stuff. The meta seems to be go with the big bonk weapons, get a lot of poise damage. That is the play. And yeah, we should be starting in about 10 minutes. But yeah, I can show the bracket in the meantime, I guess. I showed it for a second there, but... So yeah, the way... Like, I have more time this time to explain. Because last time I started right before the match started, but... So the first thing is, there were qualifiers. There were over 200 people who submitted runs to this, man. So this is, like, no small thing. So getting top 32 is a big deal, is what I was saying earlier. But yeah, pretty much they did 8 seeds, and your best 5 of 8 were taken. And basically you were placed based on your score. And top 16 get placed into the winner's bracket. So the big advantage of being in the winner's bracket is you have to lose twice to get eliminated, which I'll show in a second. But then, yeah, if you're in the loser's bracket, which is 17 to 32, then you only have to lose once, and you're eliminated. So the bracket is looking like this. So winners, 1 to 16. It's a much simpler path to winning this if you're in the top 16, pretty much, right? You only have to win a couple matches, and then all of a sudden you're in the grand final with the best of 3, but you only need to win once. Your opponent needs to win twice, which is pretty tough to do, right? Because, like, you know, in this format, there's randomness with, you know, potentially your opponent picks up a better weapon or something like that. But winning twice is much harder to do than winning once, obviously. And the losers bracket is a lot more complicated. So when someone from the winners bracket loses, they'll go down to the losers bracket. It's a much harder path. Way harder, because you have to win way more matches. And then, you know, even if you go all the way through the losers bracket, you still have to win twice in a row. So yeah, it's a tough one, dude, but it's possible, of course. It is possible. We should be starting up pretty soon, I think. Maybe I'm just going to refresh my overlay really quick just to, I don't know. Last time that it was kind of messed up, so. So yeah, that losers bracket path is pretty tough, but that's what both of these guys are going to have to deal with, pretty much. You got to win. I don't know how many times in a row you got to win. You have to win 9 times and then twice in the final. And you cannot lose. Like, you cannot lose a single time. So I hope, you know what, like, it'd actually be crazy if someone from the losers bracket, like, from 16 to 32 or 17 to 32, if someone from that qualifier range ended up winning the whole thing would be insane. It would be insane run, dude. No, winning once in the grand final is only a win for the winner's bracket winner. Because that's the advantage they get. They start off with a 1-0 lead in the final. It's a best of 3, but the winner starts with a 1-0 score right off the bat. So you only have to win once. At least according to what this shows on the website. Best of 3 with 1-0 start. So. Okay, looks like we're getting started here. Double Ansper Rapier. Carrion Casting Sword is kind of garbage. Got a staff. Some axe. Looks like was that the Obsidian Lamina there? Nothing really great. From the looks of it here. I mean, there was the Envoy hammer, but I mean it's probably not a terrible pick. But this may be a run where you got to go find something, which honestly makes things way more interesting. I think if you don't start with anything good. What is that axe? That's a Death Knight halberd, maybe. Looks like not a super obvious choice on this one. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they go with different things as well. Got that, whatever axe that is, the warped axe is actually pretty good, but... yeah, ban all strength weapons. Yeah, dex only, dude. I mean, you could still go dex only with some big weapons and it's still fine. Like, you could go dex with Starfish and it's still no problem. Yeah, the Envoy's Longhorn, dude. I think they might end up going with that. But starting no armor doesn't seem great either. So... I gotta turn the music down for me. How's the music volume for you guys? Is it good? Yeah, EU-friendly stream, dude, for DRL. Yeah, pretty much all the casting matches will... or all the matches that I'm casting will start at a good time because... A lot of Europeans in this, dude. It's like... I don't know the actual percentage. It feels like it's at least 50% people from France in this. So, the Death Knight halberd. I don't think I've ever used it. It's a halberd, right? I think so. I've never used it, and I don't feel like it'll be that great, but this is definitely... Oh, it's a great axe. Oh, okay, well, just kidding. That's funny, dude. Well, never mind. That should be pretty good then. It looks like it has a shit ton of range, too. So maybe it'll be fine. Yeah, there still may be a match where you got to go find a different weapon, though. And then the scary thing is, what if the other person finds a better weapon than me? And then you're at a huge disadvantage the entire game. But we will see if that happens. But we should be starting in about less than 3 minutes is when they'll get the go. It has the golf swing moveset, really, dude. I guess starting gifts are also are also randomized. Golden Seed is a safe start. I mean, there's the Dagger Talisman, but yeah, it could go Dagger Talisman. That's probably the speedier choice, I would say. Now, what will Sirius go with here? He's looking at that Envoy's Hammer. Looks like we'll go with it. So we have different... That's what I was kind of hoping for, dude. Different starting classes here. Deprive, though, with a Wretch with being naked. I don't know how much I like that. But it looks like they both have 10 Vigor, though. So that's, I mean... Both 10 Vigor, both 10 Endurance. Actually, you know what? The stats on the Bandit for Bryan is kind of not ideal, I feel like. You got a bunch of Arcane... and a bunch of decks. Probably not what you want, but I guess it's... I mean, I think 9 Strength. 9 Strength is okay. Yeah, Strength is the king stat, I think, in this format, dude. You just want as much Strength. Having a lot of Endurance is probably really nice, too, for those jump attacks. Depends on the weapon, though, I guess. But I kind of like the Wretch starting classes or stats better here. But... But Sirius is really not sure what to, like, they're both kind of a little unsure what to go with. What is this Death Knight? Death Knight. Death Knight's long-haft axe. I mean, I'm sure I tried it out when I was playing through the DLC, but yeah, it's got that Blink Bull Dash of War, which I don't think is useful at all. Could be cool, though. Not if you're trying to go fast. This is a somber weapon. And it does have a lot of lightning damage. I mean, lightning damage, I feel like in this format is kind of bad. Like you just want all physical for this, for sure. Especially lightning. You go against an ancient dragon. It's not great, but it should be fine against everything else. I do think it's going to want to get swapped, though. But now the Envoy's Longhorn, though, that does Holy. And when you're doing all bosses, Holy is really good. It's very good. There are some bosses that's going to struggle with. Like, on the main bosses, Holy isn't the best, maybe, but I've done a no-hit run with that weapon, and it was kind of fine everywhere. Because you have the big strike, and, like, it's enough damage. Okay, looks like we're off, dude. There we go. Timer started. And, yeah, strike is really good, as we have seen in this. So just dump 30, level 30 in health. Ooh, we got the double stone bar plus the axe tier, I guess. That's pretty good. I like Sirius's start so far. I like the weapon choice, I think, a bit more. But who knows? Maybe I'll be surprised by this weapon, dude. This Death Knight long-haft axe. Extra HP hood as well. I think it gives like 1 vigor. Probably isn't going to make a difference, but who knows? Sometimes you do randomizer and you survive with like 10 HP. It's like, oh, good thing I put that thing on. Any interesting talismans? You got multi-hit, but that's pretty much it. Bryan did start with the dagger talisman, so those crits could be a little bit better, but nothing too great. I mean, there is actually lightning scorpion, but that would be probably not the best idea to go with when you're trying to do deathless. Gargoyle halberd. Power, like maybe dual wielded halberds would be okay, but I do think you want that strike damage. So yeah, if Sirius can find another Great Hammer, that would be pretty good right about now. Nothing too great. I think there's a Urge Seal Dagger, which is a cool weapon, but probably not good for speed here. It is good with that Faith build. There's also dude, Visage Shield would be a Giga Chad play. That'd be an insane play, dude. Yeah, dual halberds, Asmon jump build. But we're selling all the stuff, getting a bunch of money. Well, maybe not selling everything. Selling, ideally, probably just like the highest value stuff we have. And then in the last match, there were quite a few route deviations as well. I mean, they were pretty much on different sides of the map the whole game. I wonder if, like, I think there's a fairly standard route, but you can take, you have a few different options with the order that you can do things. And I guess how many items you can pick up as well. You want to go visit some graveyards? I feel like graveyard on this might be good to try to just get something better, maybe. Earl Drake's not bad. More elemental resistance across the board is okay. Insane light crossbow. Great weapon, dude. Excellent weapon. Yeah, I believe we do have Stone Barb. We do have the Charge R2 tier as well. So Charge R2 build is looking good. I mean, I think they got Stone Barb last time. I don't know if they get Stone Barb every time or if it's just completely random, but big string pickup. Now there's a graveyard here that we're gonna skip from Bryan, I guess. I'm so curious to see this weapon. And Sirius going back to upgrade really quick as well. Yeah, I think for Sirius, the need for getting a different weapon is not as big here. And yeah, Strike is really good on the Crystallians right away. You don't have to poise break them first. It's good on the Blackblade Kindreds and the Gargoyles and stuff. Good on Deathbirds. Good on the undead enemies like the Tibia Mariners and stuff. Like, Strike is so good in this game, and so is Holy. When you're not doing just main bosses, Holy's really valuable to have. And Holy plus Strike on a lot of bosses are both effective damage types. Like on all of the undead enemies, Strike plus Holy's good. Now, if you go fight a Godska Noble, that's a problem. Because Strike and Holy's very bad. But I think for the most part, you're pretty safe going with a weapon like Envoy's Longhorn. Would be good to get another Great Hammer going, though. Simply loot Starfist, dude. I mean, are Starfists actually the best in this? I mean, obviously they would be one of the top weapons you'd go with, but I wonder what the actual best setup would be. I mean, Death's Poker probably can output more damage. Especially on a boss that can be frostbitten, but then it's not going to poise break. All right, first boss, Leonine Misbegotten. Another boss you can fit in like some jump attacks. Which is, I think that's just, I mean, jump attacks are really strong in this because they do so much damage for the amount of speed, especially when you're using like big, heavy weapons. So much damage and so much poise damage. But then you can also jump a lot of attacks in the game and just attack the boss while they're trying to attack you, which is way better than dodging. A very nice kill from Sirius. First boss down. Bryan approaching the same boss. Okay, here's we're going to get a direct comparison. I would say that damage from Sirius was pretty solid. You know what? There's the water buff here, though, so an extra 10% from that lightning. Oh, that golf swing, dude. You can jump this one. One with R1s. It's a poise break. The damage isn't looking quite as good. Good riposte, though, with that dagger talisman. Nice kill as well. All right, pretty similar. Pretty similar kill, I would say. Oh, wait, it's not the Death Knight Axe. Oh, it's the Crescent Moon. Oh, shit, dude. Okay. Well, never mind then. Okay, well, that's better, right? Surely. Also, we got a field trip happening. Is that magic or is that all physical? It is all physical. Okay, well, just kidding. That actually is way better. Yeah, and it's got Warcry on it. I didn't notice that. I don't know why. It just looks so much like the Death Knight Axe. Okay, this is an unfortunate Renala because there's no way this is a one cycle, but... You know what? Bubble Shower, I guess it did get nerfed, but... There are some situations where... Okay, it gets over halfway, though, so it should be a 2 cycle. Should be a 2 cycle, but the field trip has ventured out into Eastern Liurnia. Pretty lore friendly, I would say. All right, and Bryan gets to the same boss as well. Like, I could see this happening. They're just like, oh yeah, we're gonna go see the we're gonna go to the study hall. We're gonna take a little field trip over there. Ooh, Bryan misses an attack. Oh, misses another one, dude. Yeah, and the damage is just worse, I think. Well, but yeah, that's not going to be a 2 cycle. That's going to be quite a bit of time loss here. Bryan's falling a little bit behind. Still super early, though. Because who knows what these guys are going to pick up. Who knows what kind of RNG they're going to face. What we saw in the last match is that... Part of the reason why there was a time discrepancy between the two players, they both played really well, but there were some fights where just whiffs ended up losing tons of time. Oh, he does get the 2 cycle. Very nice, dude. Bryan with the 2 cycle. Okay, doesn't waste that much time. and gets a big 51K paycheck from that, from taking out the field trip, the teacher. Pretty good. That is quite good, and Sirius is going to get to plus 24. So we're already at plus 9. Good money. Sirius decided to go back and upgrade, but Bryan's going straight to this this Deathbird. Yeah, you'd much rather that Strike Holy weapon right about now, I would say. Also got a Claymore. Sirius got a Claymore as well, which, I mean, Lion's Claw is probably pretty good. I mean, it usually is. Got a lot of poise. Lots of poise damage. Okay, you know what? The fact that this isn't the Death Knight Axe is definitely better. Ooh, another whiff. All right, nice kill from Bryan. Takes a temporary lead. He's going to do this Eastern Liurnia path. Head up to Church of Vows, probably. But get to Remembrance as well. Like, good money pretty early for Bryan, dude. Good money. And we're in Coastal Cave for Sirius. Gonna check out who this boss is. Raw Meat Dumpling. I mean, oh, it's a Romana, dude. Romana's actually scary, as we saw last time. Can be scary, but you know what? Low scale is probably pretty good. Okay, lots of whiffs happening here. You desperately, like, this should easily be enough damage to get a poise break. You just want to skip phase 2 because it's a lot of time lost, but I think there are too many whiffs here. Oh, gets an extra attack, though. Maybe can go for some greed here. Go for it. Doesn't get the stun. Ooh, gets rotted. Okay, luckily there's enough room in this arena for the butterflies. Okay, no problem. But yeah, we do have rot happening. Shouldn't be a problem. But definitely, if, you know, if those whiffs didn't happen, then would have gotten that stun and that phase 1 kill. Would have saved quite a bit of time, but still got the kill. Simply no problem. Bryan coming up on Church of Vows. Have to imagine going to upgrade now. Going to get to plus 24. Plus 24 is big. Got to get that pretty much as soon as possible. And we got the Draconic Tree Sentinels replacing the Tree Sentinel. Holy actually is the most effective elemental type on this guy, I think. Yeah, plus 9. This is kind of the stage where they just start blasting all the bosses. But you know what? I guess I was thinking they would need to try to find some other weapons here. Like, especially because I thought it was the Death Knight Axe, but that doesn't seem necessary anymore. If it's not the Death Knight one. I mean, maybe a Death Knight would have been fine too, but nothing too interesting at Kale, it looks like. Sirius does take a 4-3 lead. Probably will pull quite a few bosses ahead here, just because he's already starting that Limgrave cycle. Bosses. Bryan's a little behind, but he did go kill an extra boss, that Deathbird. But when Sirius goes back there, Sirius is definitely going to kill a little bit quicker on that Deathbird, so. Into Bofa Cave. Best cave, surely, dude. And who do we got? We got a normal magma worm. Should be pretty simple. Just bonk the head a couple times. Kind of reposting these guys is bad, usually. Ooh, this is kind of annoying. Nice stun, dude. That's beautiful. Oh, and the bubble shower, even. During the stun. That was nice. That charge is probably the one annoying attack on these guys, and it can waste a ton of time. I mean, if you played any Night Rain, you would probably absolutely hate that attack. I feel like it's worse in Night Rain somehow, though. I don't know why. Maybe just because of the movement in the game makes them more awkward to fight, but... All right, Bryan approaching that Romana fight. Oh, bails on the Romana fight. Interesting. Bryan didn't like what he saw there, dude. I think Romana, based on what I saw from Sirius there, the Romana scaling early game is really not so bad. Like, she wasn't really doing a lot of damage. So I don't know if I am a huge fan of memory gracing out of that. All right, Spirit Collar Snail just got smoked. I think Holy's good against him too, but doesn't quite get the fast kill. Oh boy. Series can't find him, dude. Okay, there we go. All right, nice. Yeah, the butterflies can meme, but the arena seemed big enough where you can just kind of avoid them. Because, yeah, we saw that last match with Romana in the Black Knife Assassin Liurnia arena, and that is bad. That was real bad. It was pretty much, you go from 100% HP to 2% just instantly. So yeah, yeah, it's an understandable play. And it's like, I guess another thing too is this early in the game, your damage is so high on a boss like Romana with a plus 24 that like you shouldn't even have to worry about the butterflies. Like maybe once you get to Altus, I guess. But if executed properly, Romana should just simply die. All right, Bryan approaching that Magma Worm as well. We found an Alabaster Lord Sword from Sirius, dude, and he immediately swaps to it. I do like that. I like that quite a bit. I don't know if Alabaster is the absolute best in this format, but it's still good, at least. I skipped some items there. Surely one of those wasn't the Death's Poker or something, dude. All right, very nice kill from Bryan, dude. Just smoked that Magma Worm. All right, what's Bernie got for us as well? Bernie's got nothing. Classic. All right, kill Bernal for that Bellbearing Hunter to show up. It would be kind of funny to have an incident there where Bernal just starts rolling away from you and like waste a bunch of time. But talking to him is slow to get that Bellbearing Hunter to spawn in, so... All right, we got a Margit. Yeah, those tap R2s with Alabaster, like with great swords, and then you throw in the charge R2s when you can, and you're still at full stamina. The reason why Alabaster Lord Sword is so good. Meanwhile, Bryan takes out that snail pretty easily, but the reason why it's so good is because it has the great sword R2s, and they hit extremely hard. But then it also takes almost no stamina to do the charge R2. It's basically just bugged, and it somehow has gotten fixed. And Vike goes down like an idiot. Like the idiot he is, dude. Pretty simple kill. Scores 8-6 right now. Bryan is a little bit behind on progression, but they're pretty even. Like maybe Sirius is a tiny bit ahead, but too early to tell, really. A little bit too early to tell. As we head into... What's the name? Is this the Black Knife Catacomb, or is that the Liurnia one? We also don't really have great talismans on this one, but we have a good physic. Both the players, I believe, have Stone Barb plus the charged R2 tier, which I forget the name of course, but... Alexander is calling. No one will answer him, unfortunately. Yeah, I think in this format, Alabaster is a really good weapon, but there are probably just a few better options based on what I've seen. Oh, looks like Bryan. Wait. Okay, I thought Bryan was gonna just talk to him and rest or whatever, but just. Surely no incident. He did try to heal right there, but... All right, wait until he dies. I wonder how much faster that actually is. They go in more health. More health isn't bad. More health isn't bad, but I do think if you go big on health... Okay, all right, here's this Margit, sorry. I do not like the R2 on this thing. The Golf Swing R2 is really funny, but it's not really that good. The R1s, though, the Great Axe R1s are really solid. At least for now. Oslo's Helm. Meanwhile, Sirius doing some weird-ass duo fight. Misbegotten and Crystallian. Probably should have swapped to that strike damage, but tiny bit of time loss, not a huge deal. Oh, Bryan goes for the R2 and bonks off the ground. Okay, already, this is a bit of a slower fight than what Sirius had. And a big heal. I would definitely, I don't think Bryan got that Alabaster Lord Sword, dude. Unfortunately. So that is an advantage for Sirius for now. But if you can, if Bryan can get another Great Axe going, like the Anchor, that would be insane. That's pretty much what he's praying for at this point. Got a Purple Strike from Sirius. I don't know. I mean, it seems like kind of a slower strategy, but it may be really safe, especially if you're dual wielding. Just like throw that on one of your weapons. Get big heals while still doing damage is good. A lot of hyper armor as well. It's not bad. Looks like we're taking a very similar path between these two players, though, right now. Pretty much identical. The only difference was Bryan went to go kill that Death Bird in Liurnia, who was replacing the Tibia Mariner. That is, I think, the only difference, and it's why he's a little bit behind right now. That is pretty much it. Sirius maybe had a little bit of faster fights because he does have the weapon advantage right now. But yeah, that Alabaster pickup, dude. It's just, you know, some chair in Limgrave. Oh, Helfin Steeple is pretty good. I really like Helfin Steeple, dude. I didn't see if Sirius bought that, actually. You would imagine. Helfin Steeple with that Frostbite. Yeah, you did buy it. Okay. Gotta love Frostbite, dude. Frostbite saves a lot of time, and it's so strong when you're trying to go fast, because you get a big damage proc, but then you also just get a basically passive 20% defense reduction on the boss when you proc it. So yeah, that's pretty good. Also, just blasted through that boss from Sirius. The Pumpkinhead duo. 10-8 the score right now. Bryan checking in the graveyard. Praying for a rusty Anchor right now. But instead gets the legendary Big Mouth Imp Ashes and Egon's Loincloth, dude. That's big. The Loincloth is one of the best armor pieces in the game, surely. Surely one of the best. Sirius making his way to the Bellbearing Hunter area, or the Merchant and Kaled. Probably not going to fight that Bellbearing Hunter at any point soon, I'd imagine. Going to see what he's got. They do have a pretty good setup in this run, but it could be much better. Some Ashes of War. Heal is a really cool weapon, but you want big bonks in this, dude. Bryan's approaching that Crystallian Misbegotten duo fight. Okay, we are getting a Bellbearing Hunter. Interesting. And it's a Knight's Cav. I mean, I guess it makes sense, right? Get some money, potentially. Bryan's kind of having a little bit of a tough time here. That Misbegotten is relentless, dude. Yeah, lots of these attacks you can jump over on Misbegotten and interrupt his combos. Didn't use the buff on the weapon, interestingly. Sirius is taking out this... Like, Knight's Cavalry is pretty good RNG there, I think. I mean, it's a quick fight. Take a big riposte here. Yeah, I mean, there's so many bosses that I imagine you just simply skip there. Also, we did get a Dectus. They both got Dectus from that Tibia Mariner as well. I didn't catch where their extra graces were at that they got. Sirius is now going to take... Oh, and we got a Redan's Great Rune as well. That's pretty good. Now, I wonder why Sirius isn't going with the Steeple as one of the great swords, because if you're going to be dual wielding, I mean, Alabaster kind of loses what makes it so good, I think. And so you may as well go Frostbite. You're not going to proc it super quickly, but then when you proc it, it's just simply more damage. And you got the built-in magic. buff as well. But now the weapon difference is not so big anymore, which is good, I guess. Makes a more balanced match. We are seeing a slight variation in routes now. Bryan's going back to Church of Vows and is going to fight this Bell-Bearing Hunter. Hasn't really gone as far into Kaled as Sirius did, but Sirius did take out that Bell-Bearing Hunter and Dragon Barrow, so... We're going to see Legendary Soldier of Godric. Man, this Muriel dialogue's so annoying, man. Very annoying. You got to talk to him a bunch of times. You talk to him once, you port back, and you got to talk to him again and port back again, and then the boss spawns. All right, we got a little bit of an unfortunate boss with this weapon, considering immune to frostbite. And magic is not the best, but I mean, it's a greatsword, dude. Greatswords don't really care about bosses, like what the bosses are resistant to for the most part. You have this great R2, does a lot of damage, good motion value. Alabaster, of course, would be better here, but still very respectable. Lots of poise damage, just so easy, dude. Nice kill. Very nice kill from Bryan. And now, are we going to go see the Eastern Liurnia, like, continue up the path, maybe do the skip, Mausoleum Compound, and we are going to do it. I was talking about last time, I wonder if taking the lower path would be, like, the time difference between this skip and the lower path jumps you can do. Just in my mind, right? I'm sure these guys have tested it, but in my mind, like, also we got a Knight's Cav for Soldier of Godric, the Knight's Cavalry number 15 in the game. In my mind, going the lower path would be faster. Nice Knight's Cavalry from Sirius. 12 to 10 lead right now, but as we know, leads early in these matches don't really mean much. Usually they just come down to differences in pathing. Like this, you know, one player goes and kills more bosses in this higher boss concentrated area. The other player just goes somewhere else, and it usually doesn't mean much. But where's Bryan going? Okay, so maybe there is some reason to go this way and pick up that grace. I guess maybe down to the Bellum Highway from here. Maybe go do that Knight's Cav. Okay, well, that makes sense then. That makes a lot of sense to go this way. Surely won't die here. Dude, the torrent fall damage, man. Yeah, this makes sense. Unlock that avatar at the Erd Tree, plus access to that catacomb with the Black Knife and Shade. Then also take out this boss. And it is a Crucible Knight. Well, it's Ordovis, plus the annoying, super annoying disc-throwing Beastman, dude. Look how annoying this guy is. You know what? He ran right up to him, though. One more hit is a kill. Oh, dude, that was actually really perfect somehow. Wow, the guy just walked right up to him and just was like, oh, yeah, swing at me, please. That was perfect, dude. Yeah, I think these Crucible Knights are also kind of annoying. Trying to go super fast, unless you have a big poise-breaking weapon, but really nice kill. But that tail swipe just interrupts. Like, you kind of want a faster weapon there, at least when you're doing no hit. The Magic Shrouding Tear. That's not, I mean, I guess that's not a huge bonus to Alabaster, or not a huge bonus to this weapon, but it is still a bonus. Another Knight's Cavalry number 16 in the game. For Sirius. What a great boss. Kind of getting combo chained here. All right, another nice Knight's Cavalry kill. Let's see, are we swapping that magic tier? I don't know, dude. He swapped out Stone Barb, I think. I mean, here's the thing. Stone Barb is really strong. The problem is it only lasts for 30 seconds. And 30 seconds is not a lot. We're going to see an early Dragon Barrow here from Bryan. I mean, we already got a little bit of Dragon Barrow with that Bell-Bearing Hunter from Sirius, but... Man, we're just with the banger bosses today. Nox Duo and Omen Killer. Ooh, that's a lot of damage, dude. You got to be careful with those Omen Killers. Also, we have a Retreat Burial Watchdog from Bryan. It's probably a pretty good boss as long as you don't sit underneath that slam and get hit, because that will probably just kill you. But nice kill from Sirius, though. A little bit different danger levels between the two players right now. We got a Limgrave Agil fight versus Dragon Barrow, Blackblade Kindred Scaling. But this is actually great. Bryan's playing this really nicely. Oh my lord. Calculated underneath. Certainly calculated underneath the swipe. Okay, Beast Clergyman and Limgrave. Super weak. Just blast them. I guess you do have to be careful of this ledge, though. Okay. Be very careful of that ledge. Nice. All right. Nice kill. I guess you don't really get a lot of money, though, on Bryan's side from that boss. Maybe the unfortunate thing. Yeah, what I was saying about Stone Barb is that it lasts for 30 seconds, which is not a lot of time. But then certain bosses, as we saw last match, if you can get the stun before they do their huge delay attack or they fly away or something like that, you're going to save so much time. A Deathrite Bird. Can't tell who we got on the lower bridge, but we got a Deathrite Bird. We got a Jagged Peak Drake in Pumpkinhead Arena. I don't know if I like this Deathrite Bird right about now, dude. If I had the Envoy's Longhorn, I would be loving this, but Bryan does not have it. Oof. That's really rough damage, dude. I think a Greatsword would probably be better here. I would probably take a Greatsword, but... Oh, Sirius gets grabbed by the bear and is getting absolutely violated by him. Oh my lord, dude. That's insane. Ooh, this death... Maybe fly off the edge, but probably not. There are huge walls here, though. That the normal dragon. And Sirius is actually getting destroyed here. Oh my lord, man. That... I mean, good thing we're in Limgrave, because that would have been very bad news anywhere else. Meanwhile, Bryan chipping away at this guy. Nicely dodged the compass attack. Well, I don't know what to call the attack. The star attack, whatever it is. Ooh, that hitbox is insane, dude. The big golf swing. Getting ready for the golf season, which is starting out up pretty soon. In about a week, in fact. Gets memed by the boss going underground. Welcome to Elden Ring. He's playing this really nicely, but the only problem is, was this actually worth it? I don't know, man. This is slow. Hopefully we'll get a ton of money from this, though. Meanwhile, Sirius going through Limgrave, fighting the Bloodhound, Dairy Wheel. All right, nice kill. You know what? We did see the early Dragon Barrow strat work out nicely in the last game. 220k, man. That's pretty good. I mean, that's how much you normally get from the Snowfield guy. I don't know if that... I think that matters in this randomizer, but... Dragonkin Soldier from Sirius going down. We're seeing a boss lead getting a bit bigger, but again, it doesn't really... It's just routing differences for now. I do think the early Dragon Barrow is something that... Or like even going to Dragon Barrow at all, something that maybe not everyone does. Especially doing it this early. Getting a lot of money means a lot of scaling on your weapon. That was a pretty slow Deathbird fight, or Deathrite Bird fight, dude. Envoy's Longhorn would have been perfect for that. It probably would have sped it up like 2 times. We got an Avatar. Definitely want to go with the Steeple here with that Frostbite. Frostbite's so good in this game, dude. They made it so damn good in this game. Yeah, nice proc, and now you just simply do more damage. That's it. Don't have to complicate things, just simply more damage. Charge R2, maybe stun here. Nice. Maybe could have gotten a fully charged R2 off there, but still good. Yeah, now this is the type of Dragon Barrow fight you want to see, I think. Just like perfect with your weapon. You got to go greed for that. You have to. Nice. I like that play a lot right there. I think. As long as he doesn't die, but he shouldn't. Very nice play. It'd be very easy to run away from that Also, Sirius just smoked the Rune Bear cave boss. I honestly didn't get to see who that was, but it would have been very easy to run away there and just try to like strafe the projectiles, but just simply you're full health, go in, kill the boss, just tank a few hits, no problem. That was a really nice play. And we do have a full Deathless. Sirius has full Deathless right there. That could be big. So we do have Altus access easily. I again don't know what other grace they had, but I think that was from the Rune Bear. We got full Deathless. So that could be another thing if Bryan somehow doesn't go there, which he will. I mean, that's a pretty standard route through Weeping. Go take out that Rune Bear. I think it was from the Rune Bear. Memory Grace for Bryan. But yeah, that means Altus easily accessible, I think, for both players. They should both find that. Golden Order Greatsword? Golden Order Greatsword. I don't know if that's quite necessary for Sirius to have, considering we got an Owns fight. Owns fight. Oh boy, you got to be real careful with Owns, dude. Sirius gets wombo comboed in that frostbite, and now he's taking more damage. Man, Owns just comes in with a blender. Interesting roll right there. Got hit by the first parts, but yeah, just tap R2. Greatsword. Oh, dude. Limgrave or Weeping Peninsula Owns fight, nearly blasting someone with 40 vigor. That's what he does, dude. It's got that blender. That was very sketchy. Looks like a Ghost Flame Dragon. Definitely swap to that Envoy's Longhorn. But yeah, I don't think Golden Order Greatsword is super necessary with when you have the Longhorn, but I guess it depends, maybe. Yeah, this is a great weapon matchup for a boss like this, man. I definitely think Sirius picked the right class to start with, especially because starting no armor doesn't really matter in this because you're going to get armor anyways. Oh boy, bonks. Now you just got to pray this is not the one that summons Skellies, but at least it's in Limgrave, so should be able to get the kill, you would think, unless gets memed by no riposte, which is looking like, oh no. Okay, you got it. Nice. Very nice. I guess we'll never know. Unless Bryan has a hard time with that fight, which he might, because he has a worse weapon. Never know if that's the summoner one. That summoner guy's so annoying, man. Yeah, I think that there is definitely still a slight weapon advantage for Sirius for now. Smaller, though. But just being able to swap to a strike holy weapon is just so valuable in this. Oh boy, we got the Hippo arrive. Nice. Nice dodge. Get that frost buff and just blast simply. What's kind of nice too about that frostbite is that it does hit things, so at least, you know, a lot of other buffs like Golden Vow, you're just sitting there doing a buff and it's kind of slow because you're not actually hitting the enemy. But at least with this one, you can actually still hit them, so it feels like you're doing more than just buffing. The ugliest boss in the game, probably. We also got a +10 from Sirius here. That's pretty big. +9 and +10 Somber is quite substantial. Meanwhile, Bryan is still at +9, I believe. Have a lobster incident. But yeah, Bryan does have the money advantage, I guess, right now. So at this point, I guess it just depends on some of the bosses, but they have been getting a lot of strike weak bosses and stuff. So you gotta like that Envoy's Longhorn. And Theolier invaded. That idiot, dude. What is he doing in Limgrave? That absolute moron. Time to go beg for forgiveness from Patches. Patches the legend. Oh yeah, the lobster snipe. Yeah, that's a good question, actually, if that would have killed him. I don't know. Oh, well, that was interesting. I haven't seen that before. Did that like block cancel thing on the fire and didn't even get stunned. That was kind of cool. I wonder if that was on purpose. I mean, it probably was. I haven't seen that. Oh my lord, Patches. Patches got smoked, dude. Poor guy. Oh, and the peak fashion, Lusat's Glintstone Crown. Bryan is heading over to a Geel now. He's going to do that Limgrave section. So Bryan is probably going to catch up here, I would imagine. Got a Death Knight. Holy's good against Death Knights as well. Getting smoked by that. The lightning attacks. Oh man, the Tabar 2 with Greatsword's so dumb. Got some money as well. Remembrance of Moog. Yeah, so this Limgrave chain is quite long because you can start... Yeah, you start with this Troll into a Geel, Knight's Cavalry, Pumpkinhead, Darwill into Weeping, right? And so that's where Bryan will find the Dectus. So there shouldn't be really an advantage either way here. It's not like Dectus was on some obscure Dragon Barrel boss that someone may or may not go to fight. We got Ralva, the double Greatsword. I'm very surprised not using the Steeple here, though, in your power stance. Like, it's probably fine for now, but I do think probably later, once you get to Altus, that Frostbite starts to do a bit more work. When the fights last longer, and they've got more health, I think you would want to swap eventually. We're having a big Prelate incident. He's just spin to winning, dude. Spinning to win. I think Bryan might have been worried about just getting knocked off or something, so it's just fair to kill him. It's good. That would have been pretty insane. Dectus from Knight's Cav Dragon Barrel? Was it? No. No, it wasn't. I think... I forget where the first part was from. The first part was from the Tibia Mariner in Limgrave, and then I think the second was from the Rune Bear replacement. Ooh, man, that Steeple. Steeple should get better as you go further in. All right, we got a Rot Avatar. And again, I think you... Sirius should probably swap, but, I mean, that damage is so high. Doesn't matter for now. Does not matter for now, dude. And then the Remembrance of Consort as well. I guess you do have to be a little bit careful with the Omen Killers, man. They got bleed. Statuses are probably one of the only ways to die to a boss early in this. I mean, unless you get... I don't know. But yeah, statuses are more dangerous because they don't really care about scaling, right? You have high health. If you have high health, that bleed's going to do pretty much the same damage every time. So, gotta be a little careful. Meanwhile, Sirius finishing up Weeping at the Hero of Zamor Everjail. We're in a pretty chill part for now. I say that until and then someone's gonna get like knocked off of a ledge or something. These clergymen gonna get smoked. Doing a big attack chain. Doesn't do the follow-up though. Yeah, you just gotta go for this for sure. Nice. There you go. And that is Count Emir, the idiot. Man, Emir is such an idiot, dude. Oh, okay, wait. The Dectus right half was from the Knight's Cav. Okay, well, there you go. Yeah, I definitely missed that. I guess it was. I only noticed it when when Sirius was in Weeping, but there you go. So full Dectus, they both have it. It does mean that, you know, the seed potentially could be a pretty high score, I think. Just because in the last seed we watched, they had to go through Far Missoula to get there, which is kind of slow. Meanwhile, this Jagged Peak Drake in this tiny arena. Very important to just not whiff on these guys. Like, that's... If you're going to ever try this format and just, you know... I think anyone could just go try the seeds out. Okay, Bryan having the Rune Bear incident, but doesn't get grabbed at least. That's so funny. He's just waiting on the outside. But yeah, if you want to try this, one thing to put a lot of emphasis on is focusing on not whiffing attacks, because it has come back to bite a lot of these players from what I've seen. Dude, that was a nice dodge right there. Elmer comes in with a shield bash immediately. In the calculated strafe underneath the swipe as well. Surely calculated. All right, score 25-21 right now. Still too early to say who's in the lead. Bryan is going back to get that plus, or that maxed out weapon. Each boss is 1 point. There's one exception with Morgott, though. Morgott does count as 2 because, well, that is if you haven't killed Margit, because Margit also dies when you kill Morgott, so it actually does count as 2. But I think aside from that, I think that's it. Otherwise, every boss counts as 1. Kind of a weird thing. For an all bosses no hit run, I don't know if I would say avoiding Margit would be allowed, but I've never thought about it. So yeah, Bryan's doing the weeping series challenge. Probably going to be heading into some of the Liurnia sections next, I would imagine. Commander Nile. I don't think he's going to get this kill in time. I'm almost like, I wonder if you were buffed with the steeple there, if you would maybe get the kill with that frostbite. Oh, he despawned the other guy because he did enough damage. That's pretty nice. Okay, 2 more hits. Okay, we're still in Limgrave. Not the highest damage. Nice kill. Nice kill. I guess, you know what, though? Margit could be pretty scary with those ledges if you get the wrong boss up there. You know, you get like a phase 2 fire giant or something. That'd be insane, dude. That would be pretty insane. Bryan heading to Weeping. And we've got, I guess, Black Knife Catacomb here. I think. I guess, so probably Black Knife Catacomb into the patches segment, which Bryan did already do. You got the duelist and you got patches over there. So as you can see, it's kind of just like boss chains that people do, but they just do them in different orders. Just based on, you know, preference, or maybe there are some slight advantages to doing certain orders, right? Like doing Dragon Barrel early is maybe high risk, high reward, where if you get good bosses, you get a bunch of money. Or if you want to be a little bit safer and get like a higher score early before having a chance of dying, you might do more Limgrave or potentially, or you get more items. Stuff like that, but I think overall they should all be pretty similar timings to each other. You know, of course, it's possible that someone does a boss order, they get a really good weapon from one of the bosses, and then the other player just takes longer to find it. That could be an advantage, but so the score is based on how many bosses you kill. The person with the higher score wins. You get 2 hours to kill as many bosses as possible without dying as well. If someone dies, the match isn't over, but the other player, as long as they just don't die, they win. Well, okay, well, actually, their score is locked at whatever boss they got to. So let's say someone dies right now. Their score is locked at 23 if Bryan dies. No, certainly no caster curse. But just as an example. His score would be locked at 23. So Sirius pretty much, as long as he just didn't die, he would win because his boss score would be higher. But then if Sirius then died, then the deaths cancel out and then they just keep going. And then whoever gets the most boss kills wins at that point. So surely no caster curse, dude. So the key items that are listed are Deathless and the Academy key. So Deathless is big because Altus access is important. There are a lot of bosses there, and you need to get to Altus pretty much if you're going to have a decent score at all. So you need to get to Altus somehow, and getting Deathless is a good way to do it, unless you get lucky with some Grace that's placed in like Gelmir or something where you can just access from there. And then the other is the Academy key, which is good for traversing through Liurnia And I don't know if it's that good for anything else, to be honest. But we got that Hippo. Hippo goes down. Yeah, realistically, players aren't going to be going to kill Red Wolf or anything like that, so... Although, I mean, I guess maybe there's a potential route where you actually do go through Academy, kill Red Wolf, and then take that portal to get to Church of Vows, but that's probably still just slower than just running there. Probably slower. But I guess that is a thing that would be possible if you got super early Academy key or something like that. But I don't think it plays a big role in these matches. It's just, yeah, traversing through Bellum, getting to Bellum Highway quicker. Because we did see Bryan took the path. He did it early. He took the path down from Mausoleum Compound. He took that down to the Knights Cavalry in Northern Liurnia at the Bellum Highway. So if the Academy key was to be found, then that whole time that it took to run there would be pretty much wasted. All right, we got that Death Knight from Bryan. I wouldn't say we've had too many dangerous encounters yet, but usually it's, I would say probably Liurnia, like Liurnia and Altus is when... Mainly Altus is when things get a little bit dangerous, I would say. As we've seen from other matches. Although there is that one catacomb in Liurnia that's got the guillotines. that could pretty easily kill you if you get comboed into it. Like, that running section is brutal. But you kind of have to do it because there are two bosses in there. Like, those double boss caves or dungeons are very good. Killed two bosses very quickly, but then that particular one is maybe one of the most dangerous running sections in the whole thing. So in the whole format, you can only really get so far in this. And I can't think of a more dangerous running section than that one. Nice tank from Bryan. Nice Ralva. When will Bryan catch up, though, is the question. In the last match we saw, the one who went to Dragon Barrel early and pretty much did what Bryan did was behind for most of the match, but then probably about 3/4 of the way through, or maybe a little before that, they pulled ahead and their opponent just could not catch back up. They just couldn't do it. I mean, they kind of did, but it was about a minute behind pretty consistently. And it was from better boss fights and more damage from having a lot of money. Sirius smokes the Perfumer and Watchdog duo. We're starting to go through Liurnia now. Bryan's still working through Weeping. Hour and 13 minutes left. Yeah, see, so Sirius right now is going through... See, no, wait, I guess doing the Deathbird, who's still alive. Bryan did this way earlier, so probably going to want to swap to that Longhorn, Invoice Longhorn, as soon as he sees who it is. There it is. There's a swap. Very nice. Also has the ring finger. I wonder if Bryan got the ring finger. Because I don't think Bryan has any strike damage right now. Yeah, this is so much of a faster kill, dude, than what we saw earlier. The damage, it's pretty much like at least 2 times the damage, maybe more than what Bryan had. All right, nice kill. Bryan going up to the Madness Village. I think pretty much everyone just picks up the Sacred Tier. It's probably a good play. Not really that slow. And then I guess the Knights Cavalry, do you just go west to it? I guess so. Or I guess it's east. Whoa, I'm all backwards. That's funny, dude. No, it is. I actually am all backwards. It doesn't go to the Knights Cav. Did he already do it? I'm not sure. Still no strike damage, I think, though, from Bryan. Like, that's actually a huge deal. In some of these fights, Sirius's damage was just so much higher. And that could easily be the difference in a match, is just having the right weapon for the right boss. Your opponent just not having as good of a weapon. That's pretty much, I mean, with the players that are this good, that is pretty much just what it comes down to. And if, you know, if they end up with the same build, then it just comes down to like minor execution differences on the bosses, but like it's hard to make up. Oh, and got the ram coming in. Oh my god, he's so pissed, dude. What'd he do to that ram? Pretty clean execution kill, though, from Bryan right there. Like, that's a pretty nice kill, but definitely slower because doesn't have the right weapon. Man, that ram. Line hard tier is this good safety tier, but they do already have good damaging tiers. Like, it's hard to swap off Stone Barb. I do think the charge attack one, you know, if you got a dual wield set up, obviously isn't really doing much. But Stone Barb, man. All right, we got that Owns fight. Okay, I guess you go back. Yeah, that makes sense. Go back to this Knight's Cav after. Beautiful backstab. That's how it's done right there, man. That's how you smoke Owns. You just backstab, tap R2, just keep going. Kind of delayed a little bit. This doesn't do much damage, but just slow. Okay, Loretta getting smoked from this double greatsword. There you go. Much cleaner Owns on this from Bryan. Doesn't nearly get killed. Meanwhile, Sirius cleared Church of Vows, heading over to Mausoleum Compound. I think that's what it's called. I couldn't remember the name for the longest time. But you know what? Commentating on these matches have been a good refresher for all the names of stuff in this game. Because I didn't play Elden Ring for a while, and so I just started forgetting stuff somehow. Gotta be a little bit careful on the skip. Can't say it's really too dangerous, but if you know, maybe you try to do it too quickly, easily slip off of a ledge. I mean, it's hardly even a skip, actually, but I guess it kind of is. but yeah, I guess that's why they take this route, so that you can go from here to that Knight's Cavalry at the Bellum Highway. And that's just how you get to Bellum Highway. So if you're trying to go to like Dectus or something, take that path. All right, Bryan's almost done weeping. No, the run's not over if they die. If they die, then your score's locked at whatever your score is when you died. Just to balance it out, let's say Sirius dies at 32, then his score's locked at 32. As long as Bryan gets past 32 without dying and just like remains deathless, then he'll win. If they both die, though, the match just continues, and then it's whoever gets more boss kills. All right, Emir getting crunched. This is, you know, this is a pretty awkward duo fight. At least there's some terrain for Sirius to work with here. But, I mean, that beat... Oh, boy, we got to be really careful. There's a rat coming in. Got a little bit greedy. Certainly no caster curse. I just try to balance it out by saying Sirius dying this time. You balance out the curse. But yeah, luckily that beast man... Why do people jump that all the time? I just don't get it, dude. Streamer, why don't you jump that attack? Everyone else jumps it. You can jump this one. Nice jump. But yeah, luckily that Beastman wasn't aggroed, because if he was, that could have been game over right there. Or not game over, but could have been a death very easily. Yeah, did this in such a way, though, that the Beastman didn't even aggro. Nice play. And isn't even going to get off his horse for him, dude. Disrespect on that. Elmer body check immediately again. Nice. Oh, could have gone for the kill there, but nice, Elmer. Gotta love that steeple, man. Again, once we're in the kind of the Altus area, or in the higher scaling area, that's where we're gonna see that frostbite coming in more. Claws of Night, huh? I think that's what I just saw Sirius pick up. Pretty good weapon. I mean, all the claws are pretty much top tier. If that's what that was. right, Bryan is doing the Kaled route right now as well. Northwest Kaled route. And it's rocking with that double greatsword as well. Got the Golden Order greatsword. Nice jump as well. Dude, jumping is just so damn strong, man. Our Tree Sentinel is replacing the Knight's Deathrite Bird and Liurnia as well. Man, jumping's good until you get body checked midair by a Tree Sentinel. And then you look like an idiot. Not Sirius doesn't look like an idiot, but just you fall flat on your ass after jumping in the air trying to attack him. Nice kill though. 34-31. Timers within 2 seconds of each other right now. Bryan going into the duo Watchdog Catacomb. Sirius going to be going to kill that Royal Revenant next to EG. When does Altus is still pretty far away, I think. But, I mean, they can go at any point. Obviously, they both have full Dectus. I guess it's unusual as well to see Dectus Medallion this early. Ooh, we got a Radagon, dude. Damage is great. And look at the jump attacks, too. You end up going underneath attacks. To get a stun. Beautiful kill. Beautiful. Simple. Very nice Radagon kill right there. God slain. And he's just chilling in some underground little cave thing. Little catacomb. In Liurnia of the Lakes. Oh god, Dancer of Rana, dude. The input reading god. Gotta be maybe a little careful here. Oh, nice R2 right there. Perfectly timed. Nice kill. Nice Dancer kill. 35-32 is the score. We are seeing some more deviations in the route. Sirius going through Liurnia now. Kaled being done by Bryan. Probably going to go to that Magma Worm. At what point does that lead become... Like, this is actually a lead in bosses. Because it's a 3-boss lead right now. I do think Sirius is probably ahead right now. Because of that weapon choice. It really does all come down to that weapon choice. Having that Envoy's Longhorn. Like right now, if I was Bryan and I've seen all the bosses I just killed. Bunch of Death Birds, a bunch of Deathrite Birds, Ghost Flame Dragon. I would be praying that my opponent did not start out with the Envoy's Longhorn. But this is the lesson, I think, dude. You got to start with the... If you get a Strike Holy weapon at the start, you got to start with it. Even if you're not going to use it all the time. It's so valuable to have that because the fights are so much slower without them, at least some of them. Very nice damage on this Clean Rot Knight, dude. And the Abductor. Just clean him up, dude. And don't get grabbed. Nice dodge. Nice kill. Beastman of Farmazula. Nice job not whiffing on that backstep right there. From Bryan. Meanwhile, Sirius is going to the western. Liurnia going to take out that Avatar. Going to go down to the Spirit Caller Snail Road's End Catacomb. This is a pretty quick one. No one in the last match did the skip down. I wouldn't imagine seeing it now. It could be... It's so scuffed, dude. It's so easy to just slip off and then you just lose the run. There's not a... There wouldn't be many worse feelings than losing in an event like this by trying to do a skip and then just dying. Like trying to save like 10, 15 seconds. But those are the margins that there are, especially when we get to some of the final matches. Also, really nice Morgott right here. Nice RNG, quick stun, just blast him, dude. Nice kill from Sirius. Meanwhile, Knights Cavalry number 35 from Bryan. Getting destroyed. The sewer jail key. Definitely useful on this, of course. But yeah, those skips, the margin of 10, 15 seconds in the final matches could be the difference. So it'll be interesting to see as we get further in. Do people start doing riskier skips? Probably, but again, very bad feeling if you die to one of those skips and you just say, well, I tried to do the skip and now I've died and I'm gonna lose, unfortunately. So, gotta find that balance in this format. I think the risk reward balance, you gotta find it, and it's gonna be different for different people. Some people might want to, take a safer route, and that's just what works for them. They feel more comfortable doing it, and some people just maybe want to go all out every time. I guess that's what the fun part about this is, that you really can fine-tune your route based on what you want. Bryan, meanwhile, heading to this Dragon Barrel Merchant. We did see that it was a Knights Cavalry boss. So it should be good to go for Bryan. Gonna have a good... Bryan should make up some time here. The Sirius fought this boss pretty early. Bryan's got that steeple with Frostbite. Meanwhile, Sirius fighting an Estelle. Kind of was scared of a grab right there, but... Estelle can... If you can get that stun before the teleport, or just kill, that works as well. Very nice kill. No... I don't think Whiff did a single attack there. Bryan kind of gets hit by that halberd, gets knocked back. Knights Cavalry not cooperating at all. Doing a lot of damage. There we go. Just got to get settled in the fight here. Get Frostbite on the big boy here. Potion kill. Nice. No Frostbite, though, surprisingly. But did get it on the horse, so it didn't do nothing. Very nice kill. Still a faster fight than what Sirius got there, but maybe it could have been a little bit better. Meanwhile, Sirius heading into Celia Crystal Tunnel. And there was that Radan's Great Rune. And so it was on the... Interesting. On the Bell-Bearing Hunter and Dragon Barrow. Because Sirius has had that... For a long time, he missed the chest. Missed the chest. That's a bit of a time loss. I don't know if I've ever seen that, actually. Missing the chest. Bryan heading over to the legendary Hugus. Huge, I mean. Not Hugus. Huge. Now, my favorite duo boss is Huge plus Balls. Best duo in the game. Yeah, it's a Dragon Barrel boss, but I guess I'm not 100% sure in the scaling of the randomizers, but it's usually pretty low. Sirius doing the Celia Crystal Tunnel skip. Having a hard time, though. It's the Soul Jars for Bryan. Having a hard time on the skip, just not getting quite the right jump off of the ledge. And now the time's starting to add up here. There we go. All right, took a couple tries, but Sirius gets it done. Meanwhile, Bryan smokes the Soul Jars. Mantis Blade plus 25. You know what? Something like that could be good if you get a Godskin Noble, but I can't really imagine where else you would consider using that. That was close from Bryan, dude. He kind of got pushed away from the ledge. Kind of got pushed away. I mean, that's another skip that it is certainly possible to die on. A little whiff on that Tree Sentinel. We got a Lanciax fight from Sirius as well. Two fights happening at the same time, but Lanciax is considerably more dangerous and more annoying. Oh, yeah, that nice headshot. I think landed a full headshot there. Bryan kills a Tree Sentinel. Yep, this is what you're scared of, dude. Getting stuck in the upper parts. I don't know what you can do here. There is not much you can do. This is really unfortunate RNG from Sirius, dude. But you know what? Using that Ash of War, I don't think it actually dragged the boss down, but minimizing how much time was lost from there still did some damage. But yeah, it's so hard to, in these arenas, so hard to hit the boss, but really nice from Sirius there. Bad RNG, but still made the most of it, though. That was pretty good. Bryan heading down to that Radagon fight, but Bryan is catching up slowly here. You know, we're halfway through the match. Bryan's got that lead down to 2 bosses. I think it's going to keep shrinking. Just based on how these players have been playing, I believe Sirius is maybe slightly ahead. Oh my lord, Radagon is stomping like crazy, dude. Oh, gets a teleport. Okay, no problem. Goes into that scripted slam sequence. Sirius heading to Nox duo right now. 39 to 38. This is the closest it's been at a meaningful point in the match. Very hard to say who's ahead, but I do think Bryan will probably get this tied on bosses pretty soon here. And we got a Lightning Watchdog or Nox duo from Sirius. Very nice jump attack. One more. Very clean kill, dude. So satisfying when you have the perfect amount of damage to kill a boss in like 4 hits like that. Meanwhile, Maggie is spazzing out as usual. It's a nice frostbite. Gets a stun. Simple. Simple play. Cheers heading into Aeonian Swamp. Kill Commander O'Neill. Who will it be? The Death Knight? I'd probably like that swap to Envoy's Longhorn right now. But this obviously works. I think Holy and Strike, like definitely Holy on these guys, and I assume Strike as well. Just anything that's undead. But yeah, these Tab R2s with Alabaster are working pretty well. As it does on a lot of bosses, especially when you throw in Stone Barb into there. Really nice kill. Really nice kill, dude. I'm honestly not even sure if the Longhorn would have been better there. It's hard to say. If it was going to be better, it would only be slightly. And Bryan's into the Academy Crystal Tunnel. We got the Crystallian duo, and it's Consort Radan. Or Radan, as some people incorrectly say. Now, this is a slow fight, dude. Oh, yeah, this is slow. Really would like to get that Frostbite up. And he does, but misses the hit. Yeah, it's kind of hard to greet on this guy. The damage is quite good. Maybe could have greeted a hit there. Wouldn't have minded that. Nice dodges there. Would love a Frostbite. Like, at this point, I feel like you just got to start swinging for that Frostbite, dude. Just tank. Just tank and get that Frostbite off. But maybe won't get it now. Oh, underneath. Damn, dude. That was nice. Okay. Not the quickest Liurnia boss, but you'd much rather get that Liurnia boss now. Or get Consort now. Nearly gets grabbed. Sirius does from the Duelist. Wait, why does it say it's Millennia? Or no, he skipped a Millennia, I guess. Ooh, skipping a Millennia, dude. That's a bad omen, I think. I think that's bad karma right there. You'll always fight Millennia, dude. Trust me. Most fun fight in the game. You gotta fight her every time. That's some bad karma. Godfrey, though. Now, this boss has the high scaling in main Kaled. Ooh, and it gets memed by the terrain a little bit. It was maybe a little bit of an early jump. But the upslope certainly didn't help that. So yeah, the X-Ice is a tank, and so is the boss who replaces him. Bryan's smoking that duo. Very nice stun from Sirius, and should get the kill here. Nice stuff. 43 to 41, and Sirius heading down to the Cemetery Shade. Bryan still cleaning up Liurnia. We got Western Liurnia with the Roads on Catacomb and the Avatar. Sirius maybe is going to be close to considering Altus soon. Maybe could go Dragon Barrel first just to see what's there, but I don't know if there's much of a point yet. Maybe Dragon Barrel at the end once you've killed everything else. Sirius might still have some stuff remaining that I've missed, but I don't think we haven't seen a Black Knife Catacomb in Liurnia yet, which I think that's the name of it. That's either... You know, Death Touched is the one that's in Limgrave, I think. And Black Knife is the Liurnia one. All right, Bryan find a Morgott here. Unfortunately, the range on that Ruinous Ghost Flame is really small. Be a little careful here. It would have been nice to land. It's not like it does a ton of damage or anything, but it does just give you some... I think it just gives you a bit more frost buildup. Okay, half health is okay for now. He's gonna heal. I don't mind a heal. Interesting method of fighting Morgott there. And yeah, unfortunately... I would love to see a roll through this AoE here. Try to get that frostbite, save a few seconds. Just go again. Gets the Star Wars attack. Not a great Morgott here, dude. A little bit bad RNG, but then also... maybe didn't play perfectly or aggressive enough to get that frostbite at an effective point. But it's just the classic, isn't it? Get frostbite on the hit you kill the boss. Also, the assassin getting bullied by tap R2 to the Alabaster Lord Sword. It's a Naga Kiba. Interesting. Yeah, I think what Bryan had to do there is just go for a greed hit and force phase 2 to happen. Since it was going to happen on the next hit anyways. And then, yeah, you can also roll that AoE that Morgott does. Obviously, it's a little risky because you could get hit by a geyser, but, I mean, that's pretty much the worst case. You roll it and get hit by a geyser after. You still will probably get hit in. Still better than just waiting. Sirius heading down Northwest Kaled, Avatar into the Catacomb. Where this Watchdog waits. That attack can do so much damage. If you get hit directly underneath, like if you just sit directly underneath the sword here and don't roll. I have seen that one shot in not that late game of scaling. But yeah, very nice kill. Road's End Catacomb, Bryan killing... I don't remember who was here, actually. They're getting a lot of key items on this one. Maybe that's normal, but Finger Slayer Blade, I saw Sewer Jail Key. We got full Dectus. Oh, yes, it's the Estelle. Okay, let's see if we get the kill. Unfortunate attack, man. This is just such a time-wasting attack, that AoE. And an immediate teleport with Central as well. No hitbox when Estelle spawns back in, though, at least. Gets another horrid attack. With the RNG that Sirius got, his fight was already over by now. This is not what you want to see, dude. Oh, and gets the grab. Massive time waste attack. Wow. This is pretty much as bad as it can go in terms of RNG. Another teleport, no stun. Oh, boy. Yep, into meteorite attack, another whiff. Looks like all the meteorites are hitting the ceiling, though. There's the stun. Man, that's a tough one. Sirius had a really good Estelle kill. So that's going to be some time lost for Bryan, for sure. Some of that, there's not really much you could have done, though. I mean, just bad attacks, getting the... Like, even if you roll that grab... It's still a huge delay attack, and then you can't attack the head for a while. And then you got to roll it again after. Sirius fighting Dancer of Rana. Looking pretty good so far. Dude, what insane Alabaster Lord's pull kill. That was clean. That was really clean right there. I like what Sirius has got going on right now, dude. Bryan's going to have some work cut out for him to get caught up here, I think. Gonna need some clean boss kills. Actually, you know what? Maybe that Ash of War does do pretty good damage if you hit. I mean, it was more than a tap R2, I think. Based on what I just saw. But yeah, Sirius is pulling back ahead a little bit more. Nice jump from Bryan. Nice kill. Yeah, the competition is really close. But all these players are really good, dude. And you're not going to see many deaths from them. And they've got these routes. I mean, there's a reason they came in the top 32 of over 200 players, so they know what they're doing. I wonder what a way to get more deaths into this would be. Because I think that'd be... Or maybe, I don't know, maybe the difficulty is good, and it's just because we're watching the best players right now playing. Like, I'm sure if you go into the qualifiers, there are probably a lot more deaths that happened. But it'd almost be interesting to see if they had... Like, think about a level 1 maybe, but I think that might be too much. A very nice Beastman just gets smoked. Bryan doesn't miss the chest. Wonder what a way to introduce more risk into this would be. Yeah, me invade them. Yeah, if I look at qualifiers really quick, while they're both in loading screens, I mean, even the top players, even in the top 16, there were numerous like single-digit seeds that they had, and it's because they just die early, man. So, yeah. So. All right, Sirius heading over to the Avatar, who's replaced by some dragon. Didn't see who it was. Looks like just a Geel, or is this Flying Grail, maybe? This Flying Grail. I think Grail's a little bit more like, he's got a bit more of those feathers on him, maybe. Really solid damage, dude. Oh, got an Alabaster coming after him, but it gets absolutely blasted. Oh, wow. What a nice kill this is, dude. Oh, gets memed, kind of. Oh, wow. That was so weird. Nice kill. Okay, we got a Lance action. You know what? Bryan's saving a bunch of time here. His damage is fantastic, and he's landing all of his hits. This could make up for that bad Estelle if he gets one more hit off and doesn't whiff it. Okay, you know what, though? Some of that Estelle time, that was a really nice... Which Ancient Dragon was it? I can't remember, but that was a really nice fight. Definitely made up some of that time from that Estelle back. And that's just what happens in this, dude. Like, sometimes one player gets good boss RNG somewhere, and then they get bad RNG somewhere else. And the other player gets the opposite, and it kind of balances out usually. Ancient Dragon's something sacks, dude, yeah. Sea Snacks. No, it wasn't Sea Snacks, but... We are heading into Black Knife Catacomb. We saw last game... Whoa. That's so funny. We got the big rolling lightning ram. Nice play with the Alabaster Lord's Pole. Like, he's actually using it very well. Just didn't want to mess with that guy. We did see a very close call last time in this place. You know what? Really good enemies, though. This should be fine. Oh my goodness, though. That marionette was... was on his tail, but yeah, good enemies, so no problem. It's when you start to get the big enemies that move you around and knock, like, because what happens if you get knocked off by an enemy? You're lying flat on your back. You have no iframes. So yeah. A Putrid Avatar in here is a good boss. Still not going with the Steeple, though. Well, did I say good boss? It's a bad boss, but a good boss in this context. Like a good boss to get. Garbage boss overall, though, as long as you don't get rotted. But even if you do, it's fine. You're about to Memory Grace anyways. Bryan heading to O'Neill, who was the Death Knight. Ooh, that's not great damage, dude. But you know what? Luckily for Bryan, though, well, I mean, Serious Challenge used the Greatsword as well, but was using the Alabaster, which was just better for this, I guess. Gets a stun, gets a knockdown. Bryan's going to lose some more time on this fight. Because it just doesn't have the Alabaster, dude. And isn't getting the stun lock. Oh, Misbegotten and Crucible Knight. Like, this is pretty much just the normal duo that you get. Oh, maybe it always is when you get this one. Go for it. Nice. Nice kill from Bryan. Sirius gets the Misbegotten down. No problem. Nice jump attack. Dude, people love jumping that attack for some reason, and it just, it's no good. It doesn't do anything, but nice kill from Sirius, though. It's such a weird thing. Simply jumping it because you can. All right, a steady lead for Sirius. 3 bosses. 50 to 47. Okay, and this is where their grace was. Volcano Manor. So we're going to see a Godskin Noble, but... And you know what? I guess an Abductor duo. Godskin and Abductor. Although running to Abductor is not the fastest thing. And they do have Dectus, but you know what? Oh, and we got a Millennia from Bryan, dude. I like it. I like going for this Millennia. As long as you don't get hit. I mean, obviously you got to be good at the fight, but... The Steeple is one of the best weapons in the game for her, and Bryan definitely clearly knows what he's doing here. Oh, nice Frost proc. You know what? I guess there's a phase 2, though. Having some terrain issues with Waterfowl. Yeah, the more I think about it, maybe skipping Millennia is a play, but... Should be faster than that Deathrite Bird in Kayla, though. Yeah, I mean, this is great damage, but yeah, annoyingly... Oh, what a play from Bryan, dude. That was so clean. Got a Red Bear from Sirius. Now, Red Bear can do a ton of damage, dude. That was so clean from Bryan, dude. That was clearly intended. That's some randomizer thing you can do, I guess. That was pretty nice. Ooh, Red Bear is going absolutely insane here. It's when he does that Ash of War combo. Yeah, Bryan with the nice Millennia, dude. Cancels that Waterfowl. Nice, man. That was a nice kill. That was really good. Red Bear trying to heal, can't heal. Rolls the attack anyways. Man, they added so many garbage NPCs in the DLC. It's unfortunate. Nice kill, though. Maintains that 3-boss lead for now. And we'll go down to the Abductors. And then we'll probably just go to Altus from there, I guess. Whereas I imagine Bryan is... Oh, gets grabbed. That's unfortunate. Bad buff timing. I imagine Bryan's going to go... Dectus because he already went down to Bellum, but Sirius didn't do that. But honestly, the route that Sirius is taking is probably better. Because... It's hard to say. It's probably pretty close, I'm guessing. In terms of timing, we got Godfrey. Steeple's another good weapon for this boss. Should easily get a Frostbite. No, this is clean, dude. Bryan's doing this clean. We saw Sirius be a little bit more passive on this fight, but beautiful execution, dude. My God. Bryan is gaming here. That is gaming. I mean, you can't do it any cleaner than that right there. Perfect. Will Bryan go through Volcano Manor? I'm sure these guys already have their routes planned based on which extra graces they get. Bryan still hasn't gone to Black Knife Catacomb yet, though. And is the lead is now down to 1 boss for now. I liked that Millennia kill. Killing Millennia is good karma right there, dude. You're getting blessed. Okay, we got a Mimic tier in Volcano Manor. Didn't get the swap out in time either. This can be a little scary. Could be a little scary. You know, maybe double greatsword isn't too hard of a weapon to deal with. I say that, and you're within 1-shot range. Bryan fighting that Grail. Sirius had an excellent fight on this Grail. Looks like no Alabaster incident, though, but this Mimic is surviving. Ooh, a whiff from Bryan. You know what? At least the Dragon's flying in the right way. Nice kill from Sirius as well. The Dragon's flying in the correct direction. So there's actually not that much time wasted. Okay, now it's a lot of time wasted. Well, what's happening here? Okay, Bryan is absolutely getting memed from this guy here. And it all came from, there was a whiff. I'm not sure if... Oh, dude, the common theme of whiffs. You cannot whiff in this mode, dude. You just can't. I mean, it goes without saying, really, but... Even the bigger thing of whiffing and not and missing out on your damage is the poise on the boss resetting. That's probably... Oh, no. Oh, boy. We have a big incident here. He's going to skip it. Damn, dude. That's really bad from Bryan. Like, I wonder... You probably do go back, but that's a huge time loss. Wow. That is quite unfortunate. We got a Divine Beast. I think this is the Tibia Mariner arena. Ooh, that's going to be hard to come back from for Bryan, dude. Like, the boss just totally wasting all your time. Now, what he could have done is do the skip up and try to kill it up there. That's probably what I would have tried to do, just so that you're not, like, totally wasting all your time, but now that entire time fighting that boss is just gone. Just wasted. Ooh. You know what? Maybe killing Millennia is bad karma, dude. Because that was massive meme RNG back there. Okay, unfortunately, 2 heals lost for Bryan as well to that at Ram. This is going to be hard. This is definitely officially not going to have to be a comeback from Bryan, I think. That Agil. I think he was on a good pace. That Agil said, screw your pace, dude. I'm taking it away. Simply. All right, here's a more fight. Nice cancel on that AoE. Just simply jump attack and don't even think about what the boss is doing. That's the name of the game. That's how you play this game, dude. Yep, nice hero kill. This is the Rotten Avatar for Bryan. Very nice damage, dude. From Bryan. Should frost him, I think. Or classic frost on last hit. It's an insane whiff. Oh, boy. Yep, classic frost on the last hit, dude. You hate to see it. Damn, dude. Bryan's getting kind of memed here right now. Just bad boss RNG. Pretty much all around, I would say. It all started with that Estelle. And then that Agil. And now just little time losses. It is definitely not over yet, though. There's still tons of time. So. Still tons of time, but Sirius is kind of just cruising along here. Hasn't really had much going wrong. There was one close call on the Owns fight, but... Oh, wait. I say that, and then immediately, what, the boss wasn't there? Or maybe an invisible assassin or something? Okay, well, that was a big waste of time. I guess just like running through. And just no boss, I guess. All right, pretty dangerous fight for Bryan. Crucible Knight, Misbegotten. Doesn't kill the Misbegotten. Like, Sirius got that Misbegotten kill pretty much immediately, and then Crucible Knight didn't even aggro yet. Like, all these little time losses might just end up being too much to come back from. Night boss is not spawning when Dragon messes the weather? Wait, what? Oh boy, Bryan's got to be careful here. They are memeing him, dude. Nice. Okay, gets the kill. Yeah, I think the difference is Bryan kind of immediately ran into the arena, and the Crucible Knight is there. And he might be aggroed, but Sirius hung back near the fog gate. And it seemed like the Crucible, at least the health bar didn't show up, so I'm assuming he didn't aggro, but... All right, pretty well done from Bryan from what he had there. Boss was not giving him much to work with. So 54 to 52. Sirius is in the Sage's Cave, which has 2 bosses, though. I do think that this is definitely officially going to have to be a comeback now from Bryan, I would say. Yeah, and he is going back to that Grail. But there is a... So we got a Godefroy from Sirius in the Gary boss arena. Very tanky boss. Gets a stun, though. Big stun. I think he two-handed before posting, which doesn't actually do anything as far as I'm aware. Kind of a bit of time lost. But yes. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. He's trolling again, dude. Okay, this is a good attack. Should be able to get some headshots here, as long as you don't get memed by fire deflect. You just need to not whiff, and you need to get that stun. And you know what, dude? I think Bryan took out Stone Barb, if I'm not mistaken. That could have been the difference, because I feel like with Stone Barb, we should have gotten that stun there. I didn't see the icons if he had it. Okay, Sirius getting the slow... whatever attack that's called, Golden Lands, but still nice. Yeah, no one's going to be doing Sage's Cave skip in this because it's just pure RNG, and it's extremely unlikely. I think the one case you would do it is if you had 30 seconds left. That's when you do Sage's Cave skip, but honestly, you should have already done Sage's Cave by then, so... I don't think Bryan's got Stone Barb in. Which I think Stone Barb is so good that you kind of need to have it in. But you know what? Bryan's going to save some time on this Commander. Because I think... Ooh, we maybe could have gone for it, but... Okay, maybe won't save time then. Looked like he could have gotten the kill right away. Maybe. This boss isn't actually that resistant to Frostbite. But I guess didn't get the proc, so... All right, nice kill. 56 to 54. I believe Old Altus Tunnel from Sirius right now, from the looks of it. Bryan still has Soldier of Godric. So, Bryan did kill some extra earlier bosses, right? We got that Millennia. And I guess Bryan also did some of the Dragon Barrow bosses already. So... So, Sirius will likely... If he does end up heading to Dragon Barrow, he will save some time over Bryan there when he goes to kill that Deathrite Bird at least. Bryan did have a pretty good Watchdog fight, though. Red Wolf of Radagon. Man, poor Red Wolf just getting smoked when he's just looking at the wall. Nice kill from Sirius, dude. Nice greed hit. Very nice. Retakes the 3-boss lead for now. Meanwhile, Sirius is doing that that Western Altus chain of bosses, going to go up to the Sanguine Noble. Golden Lion Shield. Meanwhile, Bryan kills Soldier of Godric. Leads down to 2. Will Bryan be able to catch up? I mean, he's pretty much been behind the whole game, but not really. He's been behind on the boss count pretty much the whole game, but because he went and did some Dragon Barrow early and did some different routing options, but where he actually did fall behind is just some RNG on boss fights. He just kind of got memed. So that right now is the difference. Because I do think Bryan probably would have caught up by now. Or at least would have been right there. We do have a routing difference here. Bryan is taking the Altus path, or the Dectus path, which I kind of like. I do kind of like it, just considering the bosses that Sirius got in Volcano Manor. Mimic Tier, who we didn't end up swapping for. Also, very nice Rune Bear kill from Sirius, but he didn't end up getting his weapons unequipped for the Mimic Tier, and then there's also the Red Bear, which was kind of slow, so and potentially dangerous. So I don't... He doesn't know who's there, obviously, but we will see how this affects things. But Bryan is kind of falling more behind here. And yeah, I guess... Yeah, maybe Bryan should have been caught up by now if it wasn't... Yeah, because there was the Grail who ended up just wasting at least 2 minutes, probably. Plus, the Estelle was really slow compared to what Sirius got as well. Which is probably at least another 30 seconds, maybe even more than that. So that's where the majority of that time gone is. Bryan has made up some time on some bosses as well. But Sirius has also had some better fights aside from those major ones. So, but no, the players do not know each other's scores. I don't believe they know if the other person dies or anything like that, so. And there's no chat allowed. They can't read any chat. Night of Solitary Jail is what Sirius got it for this. Ooh, that's a lot of health, man. And is it got an enemy on the left side, I think? There's a bat over there, but he's not actually doing anything. Now, Night of Solitary Jail, I believe, can do some pretty high damage. You know what? Where Sirius did lose some time, though, is this boss that Bryan's fighting right now didn't show up for him. Ooh, and Solitary Jail Knight gets the heal. Doing a nice job with those tap R2s, though. What an idiot. He tried to heal again. He didn't even have heals left. What a stupid idiot. Bryan going to Godefroy. A little skip here. Definitely potential for dying there. You slip off that rock, but well done. His stream kind of lagged for a second, and I thought he... I thought he fell or something. Or I thought it was actually his game that lagged, and that would have messed up the skip, probably. Yeah, we are seeing different paths through Altus. Bryan took the Dectus Lift. Sirius took the Volcano Manor Grace that they had. And I definitely... Going through Volcano Manor was better, because you also get the extra bosses that are pretty much on the way, but then... The problem is that they were slow bosses. They were NPCs, but they weren't that slow, I guess. Very nice strat blocking that scream from the Red Bear. Should get the kill here. Classic Frostbite on the last hit. Always happens. Nice kill, though. Hey, within 2 bosses, I don't know. I think Bryan's... That 2-boss deficit is there. Like, it's real. It's not just pathing differences now. But can he make it up for it with good routing through these areas and good boss fights? Meanwhile, Sirius is kind of just cruising. He's had a really clean game so far. He's been very clean. Really, nothing has gone too crazy for him. Missed an item there. It's unfortunate. Surely wasn't anything good. Like Death's Poker or whatever. I think, is Death's Poker purple? Or is it white item? Here's some more for Bryan. Who actually can be frostbitten, but probably won't with this high damage. But there are a surprising number of bosses that can actually be frostbitten in this game, even though it's like, oh, here's this frost boss. Oh, it is purple. Here's this frost boss that does a bunch of frost magic and all this stuff. It's like, oh, they can actually be frostbitten. And like Commander Nile as well. Like big frost guy who just can get frostbitten. So I'm a little surprised that Sirius hasn't swapped from Alabaster at any point. Not that it's bad. It's a great choice still, but I just think getting that Ruinous Ghost Flame buff could be looking pretty good right about now. The Divine Beast, especially when you get those tankier bosses, such as Divine Beast, who is quite tanky. Gets the buff off. Divine Beast is a tricky fight, dude. Nice. Should get a stun soon. I would love to see Stone Barb, man. Hard 2 here is good. Was a little bit too close. Gets comboed into lightning. Probably smart to stay out of the water here so that you don't get this lightning increase or decrease in lightning defense. This is not going well. You would love to see a stun there. That's why, like, Stone Barb, dude. Stone Barb would be so big to get those early stuns. Now, like, phase 2, when you get into Divine Beast, is so slow. Like, you can't really do much when he's in lightning phase. Cross phase is a little better. Dodges that grab. Kind of just have to go for it here, dude. Jump attack. We got a Godric's Great Rune. Honestly, though, at this point, it may not even be worth swapping from Godric's or from Rodan's Great Rune to Godric's. Like, Rodan's is really good already. But plus 5 damaging stats is certainly not bad. This Divine Beast is going a little rough here. We got a Falling Star Beast. Another boss where it's like it all comes down to the whiffs. Yeah, Bryan's having a tough time with this Divine Beast, dude. Needed to get a stun somewhere. He just hasn't gotten it. Serious with the big stun. Wow, very nice Falling Star Beast, dude. Oh, and Bryan's got another enemy to deal with, man. Is he resetting the fight? Oh boy, this could be... He's resetting the fight. Oof, that's quite unfortunate, dude. I would probably stay in that. Just considering the boss is at like an 8th HP or something, but that's another incident, dude. You hate to see that. Meanwhile, Sirius is just kind of cruising along here. 3-boss lead. The lead is increasing. Like, as we're going further in here, that lead is actually increasing quite a bit. And I think he does still have some Liurnia bosses left, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe? I don't think he fought that Consort and the Duo Crystallion. So he does still have some earlier bosses left. Go back to that Millennia, maybe, but probably not. Well, actually, if they had that Grace, you probably go back to that Millennia if he grabbed it. But yeah, now this is a mountain to climb, dude, to come back from this. Like, you know, the only way I can see it now that Bryan comes back is a death. But Sirius is playing so clean, I just don't see it happening. I do not see a death happening between these players right now. Yeah, Sirius is just simply just jump attacking. Like, oh, I was going to say hasn't been whiffing, but a nice play to swap to the Alabaster Lord's Pole, dude. I really like how he's using that. He's using that really nicely here. And that the lead increases to 4 bosses, and it's getting bigger, dude. It is getting bigger and bigger. Like, it's unfortunate for Bryan because he really hasn't made many mistakes either. There have not been many mistakes. It's just simply at the start of the game, the weapon choice, I guess, was maybe a slight mistake. Not going to Envoy's Longhorn. Alabaster Lordsword has not been a huge advantage at all on this. But it's some of the boss RNG. It's just simply been worse. Nice attack from Bryan right there. Meanwhile, we got the Duo Tree Sentinels. We got Bloody Slash. Really good Ash of War, actually. Insanely good range on it. I didn't see who the other boss was yet. But Godfroy goes down for Bryan. It's the Academy. They do have the Academy key. I didn't notice that. Sirius got that. So you know what? He's going to save even more time. Because I'm pretty sure he still has that. Oh, it's an Estelle, dude. That's ugly. He's doing a great job landing his hits here, though, on the head. Look at that, dude. Man, Sirius is playing so clean here. Like, really not whiffing a lot of attacks. Oh, that's a lot of damage, though. Nice. Calm. Bryan's having a little bit of an incident there, but no, it gets the kill. Ooh, Seer's getting bad RNG a little bit here, but gotta be careful now. Okay, great attack. Wow, that's quite good timing on that attack. Probably that's the input read. Or maybe the heal or something. Well done from Sirius. Saved some pretty, I mean, pretty average RNG, but made it pretty good. This is a just clean rot night. Yeah, Altus is the place where you can actually die. Because the scaling gets high enough where if you start going insane and start greeting stuff, things do a bit of damage. Kills this bat because he needs a fast travel, I guess. Yeah, that's another quick boss chain done from Sirius, dude. Oh, Bryan's got no stone sword keys, dude. Oof, that's... He only has one stone sword key, and he tried to go to Old Altus Tunnel. That, yeah, it's just compiling, dude. Unfortunately. Yeah, that's even more time gone. Yeah, and Seer's going back to that Bellbearing Hunter that he missed earlier. Probably going to go to that Godefroy after as well. And the lead is just, it's too big now, I think, dude. Seems like it's too big. Really nice Bellbearing Hunter from Sirius there, dude. Yeah, just didn't keep track of the stone sword keys, I guess, or maybe forgot to buy one somewhere. I think they're still guaranteed at some of the merchants. But yeah, just simply miscounted how many he had, I guess. It would take a miracle at this point, I think, for Bryan to come back. Also, did Bryan ever get to plus 10? I can't remember if he did. All right, nice Rune Bear kill, though. Nice Rune Bear kill. Cuts the lead down to 4 for now, but... Yep, it's looking like this might be a consistent 4 to 5 boss lead pretty much for the rest of this game. Rugalia comes in flying, dude. It would have to take a massive mistake for Bryan to come back here. Like, it would have to be a death. It would have to be a death. But even then, dude, if Sirius can just play clean for a little bit longer, like even a death, he might be so far ahead that a death doesn't even matter anymore because like Bryan would still have to surpass the number of bosses that Sirius killed before he died, even if he does die, and he's got a healthy 5 boss lead now. So this should be pretty much done soon. Not yet, though. I guess that is the cool part about this format is that like it's not necessarily over. And Sirius has no idea how Bryan is doing either, so it's not like he can just go like, oh, I need to just play safe now because I have a huge lead. He just doesn't know. Look at how he's playing so well, dude. Just not whiffing hits. He's got a great build. He's playing extremely well. He's at 67 to... Like, now we're at a 6 boss lead. And is Bryan having another incident with enemies here? Looks like it's okay. Cheers heading to the Deathbird. Oh, boy. Bryan, all of a sudden, I look back and he's got a 3rd health left. Didn't see what got him. That couldn't have been just one swing, right? Hopefully not. Deaths do punish. Very nice jump from Bryan right there. Deaths do punish you. Because your score gets locked at when you died. But someone could... Very nice Black Knife Assassin as well, with all those enemies just looking on. But yeah, someone could die and still win to someone who didn't die. If they killed more bosses before they died, right? Yep, 7 boss lead. How did that miss, dude? Bryan just somehow... His attack phased straight through the enemy. Just straight through him. Doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I got feel for Bryan here, dude. There's like not much could be going worse right now. Aside from a death, of course, but yeah, just a combination of bad RNG to start, and then I think maybe, you know, potentially lost some focus or whatever, and then started making a couple mistakes. But everything just kind of compounded just from bad, really just bad RNG at the start. There wasn't much he did wrong, so. And I totally jinxed it by saying killing Millennia's good, like good karma, and then immediately after gets memed by the Flying Grail fight. Okay, Bellbearing Hunter for the DTS. Nice stun. Simple Bellbearing Hunter kill. Yep, 7 boss lead, 15 minutes to go. That's a massive hill to climb, dude. Unfortunately, it's looking pretty grim right now. Sirius is going to head down to the Minor Erd Tree, take out Wormface, go to the Altus Tunnel, take out that Crystallian duo that's normally there. And then I don't think he did the Lanciax path yet. Or no, he must have done that. So what does he have after that? Maybe just go and start cleaning up some of the bosses that he left. Like, he's got the Academy key, so now he can go do that Knights Cavalry who he skipped. And it was the right choice to skip that in this case, right? Because if you recall, Bryan ran all the way down. This is a little bit of an awkward fight. Trio boss, Watchdog, Abductor, and Crystallian. This is very awkward. You'd probably love to have some crystal darts for this, and then you could, like, turn this one guy and then 1v1 the other one. Gotta be careful. I mean, it's not over yet. But even, honestly, though, even a death here is, you're probably still in a pretty good spot. Because you're 7 bosses ahead. But yeah, just, I mean, he doesn't know how much of a lead he's got, but just playing this smart like this is really the good play. Safe, smart play. We're also seeing now, too, Bryan's build, I think, is just straight up worse. The double greatsword is doing way more damage on this Falling Star Beast. Yeah, those power stance weapons, man. Oh, nearly gets grabbed. It would have been fine. He's got a lot of health. Well played, dude. Wouldn't mind seeing a swap to that Longhorn here, but doesn't matter. Doesn't even matter, dude. Steeple's not an overrated weapon, but in this format, getting 2 weapons online because of the auto upgrade is very powerful. All right, we've hit 70 bosses. But no, Steeple's not overrated. It's really good. It just depends on the format. And in this case, they have auto upgrade, so it makes single weapons worse. Bryan's having a little bit of a tough time with this assassin. The bear is actually doing stuff as well. One more swing. Nice. Okay, good kill. Luckily, the enemies here were pretty good, actually. All right, 6 bosses behind with 12 minutes to go. I think once... I haven't done this format enough to know exactly how many bosses you would be able to kill in this chain, in these Altus chains in 12 minutes, but there's going to be a certain point here where Sirius is just out of reach, I think, and it's going to be very soon. Like, I think already hitting 70 for Bryan here with the RNG he's gotten and some of the mistakes, I don't even know if it's possible anymore. I think 70 is possible, but I think when Sirius gets to like 72, that's probably curtains, I think. Even with the death. And Sirius is just playing so clean right now. And just the big thing is that he's not really whiffing attacks. Even during the winners, like what a Tree Sentinel kill did. Even during the winners bracket match that I commentated on Tuesday, there were a lot of whiffs, and those players wasted a lot of time because they whiffed attacks and missed out on stuns. but Sirius is landing his hits for the most part. I mean, there's the one Lanciax fight where he whiffed a couple times and he got memed with him flying into the air, but I don't think there was much he could have done about that. Nice Bell-bearing Hunter from Bryan right there. Yeah, and now Sirius is going to clean out some of the Liurnia bosses. Like, this is pretty much done, dude. With the Maggie, and then we're going to go... As long as he has the Stone Sword, it's going to head into the Ray Lucaria Crystal Tunnel. Look at this. Just so clean, dude. Very clean. Third Church of Marka for... I don't know who's there, actually. Yeah, he didn't mean to go there. That's fine, dude. He can afford to warp to the wrong place a couple times now. Yep, this is probably over. Unfortunately, yeah, Bryan just got some bad RNG on some boss fights and then ended up making a few mistakes after that. Still played pretty well, though, considering the circumstances. But serious, I mean, what can you even do against this? You just have to somehow play cleaner than he's played, which would be tough to do, I think. Yeah, and he could certainly get into the 80s here. Because I'm pretty sure he didn't kill the Knights Cavalry in Northern Liurnia as well, which is a quick boss to go get to. And he also killed those Volcano Manor bosses as well. And maybe they weren't the fastest fights, but they certainly weren't slow either. And he's just smoking everybody, dude. Oh, we got a balls sighting. It's crunched by the Great Blade Phalanx, and then one of them delays and smokes him after. Oh my goodness, dude. Yeah, unfortunately now I just don't think this lead's possible to come back from. Unfortunately. Seven boss lead. We are seeing some Dragon Barrel from Sirius, which makes sense. I mean, he's on a great pace. And you know what? He's going to be able to swap to his Envoy's Longhorn early. Or his Envoy's Longhorn that he got from earlier in the run. I guess he got it from the starting class. And use that against the Deathrite Bird that Bryan had a very slow fight against. Okay, this is probably not exactly how you want to deal with this attack right here, but I think the Watchdog is messed up because he's on the he's on the slope. So he couldn't trigger the attack for some reason. That was pretty funny. Yeah, I think we're gonna see an 80 here, dude, right? I don't know. 80's gonna be close. You do have pretty much 4 quick bosses here. We haven't seen who the Erdtree Avatar replacement is, and we haven't seen the Dragon Barrow Cave replacement. But if those are good, because we know this bridge boss is good, and he does swap to that Envoy's Longhorn. The other boss was an Erdtree Avatar on the Knights Cavalry bridge. Yeah, that weapon choice at the start of the game, I mean, his damage is actually really solid here. Really solid. And gets that stun. He's got Stone Barb in, right? I don't see the icon for it, but I'm pretty sure he does. Look at this, dude. Just so clean. Gets that nice headshot. A death here doesn't even matter. Maybe doesn't know the compass tech, but that's okay. As long as you're not sitting right in the explosion, you should be fine. Where that move gets really dangerous is if you don't get away in time, and then you're already, like, a bit low health. It can just do so much damage with that Frostbite. Yep, that fight was easily 2 times faster than what Bryan did. I guess he's not going to check the lower bridge. Or, you know what, he could just do it after since he got that grace, I think. Bryan with a nice kill on the Ancestor. What is this? Oh, it's just the Guardian Golem. I forgot this guy was even a boss. This is a great boss. Like, This is probably one of the best bosses you can even get here. Because you get the stun. You get a gigantic riposte once you get that stun. One more R2. This is probably one of the best bosses you can get here. In fact, like, Bryan probably should have kept going and taken out this boss. I don't think he even looked. Yeah, you could just totally stun lock this guy if executed properly. Just like that. Simple. You get the bonus poise damage on the weak spot. Dude, serious challenges is he's serious, man. This is serious gameplay. 80 is all of a sudden actually possible. I don't know exactly what he's got left. I think he's got that Knights Cavalry Liurnia. And so that's getting to 78 after this. And then Dragon Barrel Bridge. And so Avatar was kind of weak. He could do it, dude. Yeah, unfortunately, this match is over. Like, there's really nothing that could be done now. Yeah, Bryan getting grabbed again from the Estelle. Sirius playing it really safe. Oh. Gets sucked. Oh my god. He doesn't know, but like he could potentially think dying is just like he loses here. That's a lot of damage. That's the guy in my level 1 Deathless Rando that I died to because he shot around a corner and one-shotted me. All right, Tree Sentinel's really quick. It's actually the Torch one too, who's even easier. He doesn't have all those ground slam attacks. Body check. You can just go right underneath this attack or just stun. That works too. 5 minutes remaining. Wouldn't mind seeing maybe a few more charged R2s from Sirius here. Like, the tap R2s are good, but the charge R2s are probably better if you're gonna, or even just going the two-handed. Yeah, there you go. Power stance, yeah. Power stance is just so strong when you have two weapons that are fully upgraded. In base Elden Ring, it's hard to do that. It's extremely expensive. But for this, when they have auto upgrade happening, you just get it immediately, and so you just get so much damage. Bryan gets rotted. Insult to injury, dude. This is still going to be a very respectable score for Bryan, though. He's going to get in the 70s. Still very respectable. Like, certainly not a bad run or anything like that. Just Sirius is having a great run right now. And I think he should be able to hit 80 now, for sure. I'm surprised these players aren't jumping that stomp more. Like, I don't know if I've seen anyone jump it yet. Nice stun, dude. No riposte. Interesting choice on an avatar who can do this to you. Clean kill. Bryan's seeing that ugly, ugly trio boss right now. And it's maybe just simply running away from them. I kind of like that play. That's a slow fight. Meanwhile, Sirius is heading to... I don't know where. Like I said, I think he still has that Knights Cavalry left. He should pretty easily be able to get to over 80 here. Which is a pretty good milestone, I would say. Good, the mark of a pretty good run if you can get over 80. I don't think 90's ever been done. Is it possible? I don't know. Oh, he's going to Lakeside. Crystal Cave. Yeah, this should be an easy 80, I think, dude. Unless he has a, like, unless there's a crazy bad boss in here, but I could be wrong on him having that Knights Cav in Liurnia, but I'm pretty sure he didn't go there on Bellum Highway. Oh, no, he definitely did, dude. No, he did. He did. I forgot about that. I think. How did he get there, though? I can't remember how he got there. I think he just went from Mausoleum Compound. So, okay, so maybe he doesn't have that boss left. Interesting how he's going out more now with the two-handed Alabaster Lord Sword. That's 79. So who does he have left here, then? Oh, he's going to the Millennia fight, dude. Now, this is a Chad move. Millennia to get to 80. Chad move right here. Yeah, I forgot he left that Millennia fight. There we go. He's redeeming himself. Definitely. Okay, Alabaster is a great choice. I would honestly try to go with the Frostbite and then go Alabaster or something like that. But you can't go wrong with either one. And those tap R2s, dude. And yeah, she's not even... She doesn't do a lot of damage here. She's not super scary. But it's interesting, like, maybe a few more charge R2s would be good. On the openings. That you can get them. Doesn't do the tech that Bryan did. That instant phase 2 riposte. Like, that was really a nice play. Damn, that Rot Flower, dude, is insane. Insane terrain. It should easily hit 80 here. Well, I say that. There's a minute left. Kill phase 2 Millennia. You would think. Unless you start getting memed with another Rot Flower. But you just greet it. Like, just greet it, and even if you die after... Doesn't really matter. There we go, dude. I think. Is that it? No charge R2s, though. I don't see why. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my lord. Millennia falls down and cancels Waterfowl. That was a little scary, but there we go, dude. That's GG's. We got an 80 score. Pretty damn good, dude. Yeah, unfortunately for Bryan, just ran into some issues. With some RNG stuff early in the run. But Serious Challenges played so clean, dude. It would have been hard to... Like, even without that bad RNG, it would be hard to keep up with that. GG's, dude. Really nice game. But yeah, unfortunately, that does mean Bryan's done. Because this is the loser's bracket match where you just can't lose anymore. Because if you lose, you're out. So, unfortunately, he's done. But he had had a good DRL, I would say, for sure. Making top 32 out of, like, over 200 people is pretty damn impressive, dude. And 72 is still not a bad score at all. Especially considering the circumstances, but... Serious Challenges, dude, with the sick run, man. That was really nice to watch. That was really nice. Yeah, change the name to Easy Challenges, dude, yeah. Nah, but he's a serious gamer, so... That was serious gaming. That was nice, dude.